Welcome to Premrest's webinar, The Wild West of Commercial Carpet Cleaning. I'm Aaron, I'm the General Manager of Cleaning here at Premrest, and we're really excited to have you joining us on the webinar today. Today we're talking about commercial carpet cleaning, and we've called it the Wild West of carpet cleaning because often that's what it feels like when we walk into facilities and see the mistakes that have been made or hear about the practices of some of the carpet cleaners out there. So we've come in today to try and talk with facility managers a little bit about a few things. Number one, what's so important about carpet cleaning? Why do it? Why get it done in a commercial space? Number two, how to choose the right service provider, who's not going to act like a cowboy out there, put you at risk, put your carpets at risk. Number three, the methods. It's not one size fits all. And when people think about carpet cleaning, they often do think straight away of steam cleaning. And in lots of cases, that's not the best fit for your facility. And then we're going to finish up with some Q&As. So if you've got any questions throughout the webinar at all, feel free to add them in to the chat and we will address them at the end. So let's start off at the very beginning with what's so important about carpet cleaning. And I guess the thing that would really answer this question for you is, what are your goals as a facility manager? What is your client's goals? What is the company you work for's goals? What's the goal for your facility? And if some of these tick a box for you, we know that a lot of the facility managers we talk to, these are probably the three key areas that they see as important. Number one is the aesthetic. Does it look good when your clients walk in, when your company's clients walk in, when the C-suite and the managers walk in? Are they coming in going, gee, this looks great? Or are they coming to you and saying, hey, there's a spill. Why is there a stain in the boardroom on the carpet? Are they complaining about the aesthetic? Is that important? The second reason that carpet cleaning is important is just the general health and well-being of your staff. Or the people coming into your facilities. Carpet plays a huge role in indoor air quality. If we think about your carpet being a filter of the air, we often say to people, close a door on a meeting room overnight for a few weeks and have a look. If you've got light coloured carpet, leave the HVAC running and have a look over time. The line under the door acts as the filter. And your carpet you'll see a line that's a bit darker form where the air is pushing through underneath the door through the fibres. You'll see that darkening line. Well, that sort of shows you like an air conditioning filter that you would pull out and dust off. It's showing you the quality of the air, and that all gets held inside the carpet. And so as you get it cleaned on a more regular basis and maintain your carpet, you're going to make sure that the air quality, all the stuff that would be trapped inside the fibres of the carpet is no longer there. You've released it, you've gotten rid of it, meaning that your facility's air quality is going to be stronger and healthier for your staff. And the last thing is asset management. Lots of people out there, if you've gone through a fit-out process, if you've gone through a process of installation, you'll know that carpet is not cheap. In commercial settings, those carpet tiles that you're getting installed, it's not a cheap installation, it's not a cheap purchase. And so we want to make sure that a lot of facilities want to make sure that their asset and their carpet, they reach the full lifespan of that carpet. And so what we often ask our facility managers is, what does success mean to you? And if you think about now and 15 years from now, which is the average warranty on a commercial carpet tile is 15 years, what does success look like to you? What's the ideal scenario up on that top green line? And what does failure look like? If failure looks like having to rip out and replace earlier than that 15 years, then ideal looks like maximizing the full 15 years. Maybe ideal looks like just always looking nice, always looking great, looking fresh. Or maybe ideal is the health and well-being of your staff. Whatever that green line is to you, the best way to get the most out of the carpet and to get success is to have some sort of maintenance plan where you're being proactive, that you're putting steps in along the way to keep your carpet and your asset on that green line. Doing reactive cleans and treating your carpet as once I see the stain, I'll get to it. Once we see the problem, we'll fix it. You're going to trend on that red line. And the problem with trending on the red line to failure is that 2 years down the track, we notice the problem and we haven't put in some sort of maintenance program, the jump from that red line to the green line is a lot more costly. It's a larger jump than from the baseline. And so it's going to cost you more to get it back to the ideal scenario. And so what we suggest when we work with facility managers all around the country is putting in a maintenance program early on and keeping it maintained on that green line is going to cost you far less in the long run than letting it run to failure and having to replace it. So we've talked about the importance of carpet cleaning, but how do I choose the right service provider? Because there's so many options out there. We've got so many different options, different providers, and they're all very different. The 4 key sort of providers and service categories we see out there are, number one, your general cleaners. And that's probably for some of those larger, more national facilities, that's probably the most common choice we see from our facility managers that we've worked with. They've regularly gone to their general cleaners. The pros for them are that they are grouped with other services. So they're already doing the cleaning, and it just makes sense to have them do the cleaning. They already have access to your site. They're already in there every day, every night. It's just easy. The cons are that often to get the general cleaning contract, they'll race to the bottom in price and really be competitive with their bidding. But then all of those ad hoc fees add up. And so their periodicals are often charged at a higher price than any of the other providers would generally quote because they're able to charge an ad hoc price because it's in the contract. The other con is that they lack a deep expertise. So they're not doing carpet cleaning every day of the week. They're just doing it at Christmas time or they're 6 monthly or whenever you've asked them to. And so they don't have the expertise and there's risk of their cleaning failing because they've either over wet the carpet because they've just gone with the general steam clean. They haven't given the carpet the treatment that it deserves and it needs, haven't assessed it properly. Then we've got local providers, and look, a lot of the national facility managers that are watching on, you probably wouldn't go to a local provider, but some of your local facilities like a local hockey club or a local RSL might choose to go with a local provider, and it's great because local business doing business with local business is always a great way to go. The pros there are that they specialise in carpet cleaning. That they're doing it every day if they're a carpet cleaning business, and they're easy to find. There's a whole bunch of people always advertising on Facebook Marketplace in your local community groups, those good karma groups on Facebook. So you're easy to find a local provider. The cons are that quality can vary. They're not tied to something that's bigger than themselves. Sometimes they can be really, really great because they are a sole trader and they're going to work really hard, but other times they've just got into it. They've bought some equipment and they're giving it a red hot go, and so the quality might not be there. And the other con is that often a bulk of their work is residential, and so they just don't know the difference between a commercial carpet and how to treat it as opposed to the residential stuff that they're dealing with every day. The third service provider category is the product driven. So think out of like ChemDry, Millicare, Host, different providers out there that their service is linked to their product. So they sell their product to different cleaning companies out there, but they also then have their own service providers they'll send out. The pros are that they've got the consistency of a branded system. This has been tested, tried, it's science-backed. They've got some good proof in the pudding that shows they've got this system that works. They've often got a large network. They either franchise their system out, they sell their system to cleaners that they know is using their system, so they can pretty much get anywhere in the country. They can find someone that's using their product and help you to clean your facility. And they'll specialize in carpet because that's what their product does. The cons, though, are that they are bound to a single method. And as we know, carpet cannot all be treated the same. There's often cases where you just cannot steam clean a carpet. It's a high humidity area. It's a goat's hair carpet, for example. So not every single carpet in a commercial facility can have the same method. And so when you go to a product-driven supplier, they're going to always use that method on your carpet. And then often you're also paying for a brand because you've gone with their product, you're going to be paying a higher price for their brand. And the final category is a specialist, and that's what we at Premrest are. The pros are that they've got depth of knowledge and expertise. So they're working with carpet every single day, with flooring every single day. They know the different kinds of carpet that's installed in commercial facilities. They're cleaning every day. And unlike the general cleaners who are every few months, every 6 months, 12 months, specialists are doing it every day. So there's less that they can get wrong because they've just got the practice in. Their pricing can be competitive because they're not linked to a brand, they're not charging ad hoc pricing, they're not a small operation often, and so the specialists can be competitive with the other categories. The cons are that it can be a longer consultation process. It's not just, hey, can we get a carpet clean this week? They're going to want to look at specifications of the carpet. They're going to want to come and have a look at the way the traffic flows in the building to make sure that they're giving the carpet the treatment that it deserves. And so it can take a little bit longer to get them in. It's not an overnight thing. And sometimes specialists can be harder to find someone that just really specializes in the product. But it's not all about the provider. The next thing that we move on to is the method. And it can't be a one size fits all. We just know that if you're a facility manager out there that has had problems in the past by just getting any person or any provider just to come in and do a steam clean on your carpets and there's been issues, you'll know that it's not a one size fits all scenario. So I'm going to go through the different offerings that there are out there. There's 4 key methods out there in the market. There's hot water extraction, otherwise known as steam cleaning, which is the most common. Everyone, when they think of carpet cleaning, they think of steam cleaning because it's been around forever. It's just this thing that we think about when you've run the end of a lease at a residential tenancy. They ask you to get a steam clean. They ask you to get a receipt for it. So it's just the common language that's being used every single day around carpet cleaning. Then you've got dry powder or compound, which is systems like Host or Millicare. You've got shampoo systems. You'll often see in Woolies or Coles, you'll be able to go in and just grab a shampoo bottle, a carpet shampoo that you can treat at home. And then finally, you've also got encapsulation. So they're the 4 key methods. And we'll break these down for you and what's involved in the way that the carpet is cleaned with that method, what the pros and cons are, and then what the best use case is. And like I said, we believe that at Premrest that there's no one method that fits every single carpet clean. And so they all have their use case, they all have their place within a commercial carpet cleaning setting. So let's start with the most common, that's steam cleaning, hot water extraction. The way this works is they inject at a high pressure hot water and detergent into the carpet. It's pushed through the carpet fibers at this high pressure and flushes out all the dirt that's caked in through the fibers and built up from the backing up. And then they extract it out with this high suction. The pros are that it does really well at deeper cleaning. So it's going to clean your carpets a lot deeper. It's going to get right in and flush everything out. The cons are that there is a longer drying time. If done wrong, it can take up to 72 hours, even more. But most cases, it's going to take a day or 2 to dry. With those longer drying times, it's harder to get right in a commercial setting that's live all day, every day. As it's drying, if it's damp and people walk in with dirty shoes, then that dirt is going to stick to the wet carpet. The next con is the risk of overwetting or mold growth. If a provider who's not a specialist, who doesn't know what they're doing, comes in and does hot water extraction and they overwet the carpet, then we're going to start to see, especially carpet tiles in commercial settings, start to curl, the glue's not going to hold, shrinkage of carpet, or even mold growth, especially in high humidity settings. And so getting this right is hard. And so you want someone who's doing hot water extraction or steam cleaning every day to really come in and perform this, because you don't want someone like a cowboy coming in and ruining this high value asset that your facility has. Another con is the toxic non-extracted contaminants. So when they extract that water, they can only get at best 96% out, 95% of the water out. Most times it sits at about 75 to 80% of the water has been extracted. The damp and wet carpet that stays wet and dries over that next few days, that's the rest of the water that's in there. And the test that they do on the extracted water, the dirty water that gets extracted out, is 75% more toxic than sewage water. And so if you think about that, that remainder that's still drying in your carpet is still there. It's not extracted. There's contaminants that are still dirty inside the carpet. And so you just don't want that in your carpets. You want to make sure that you've got someone who really is extracting as much as possible out. They know what they're doing. And finally, the last con is that the excessive wastewater. It's just not eco-friendly. We're pumping a whole lot of water in, we're using a lot of energy to heat up the water, and then we're extracting a whole lot of water and just tipping it down the drain. So they're the cons. There is a use case for it. Heavily soiled carpets need a restoration clean. Hot water extraction is the go-to because it's really going to flush that carpet out. But it's not designed for your maintenance and your regular cleaning because it's just wetting carpet that shouldn't be wet on a frequent basis. Then we've got shampoo. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this because it's not very common in commercial settings. But its method is that a foamy shampoo product is applied, agitated into the carpet fibres. It's then left to dry and vacuumed up. The pros are it's good for surface cleaning. Think you spilled something on a couch or you've got to the surface pretty quickly, but you've still got a little bit of a stain. You apply that to that general area, spot clean. It's very easily accessible. You can get it at any of the major retailers out there, and you can do it yourself. The cons are that it leaves a high sticky residue, just like the detergents in steam cleaning. As it dries, it has a sticky residue that's left. Shampoo does the same, even more so. So we walk into facilities sometimes where in between our visits, they've gone just to Bunnings and grabbed a shampoo product and applied it to their carpet, and they're wondering why the stain hasn't gone away and it's looking worse. It's because the sticky residue attracts the dirt. It's not a residue that's protecting their carpet. It's not like a Scotch Guard. It's a sticky residue that's attracting the dirt. It's not designed for deep cleaning, and again, there's a long dry time because you're wetting the carpet with the shampoo. The use case is maybe a light surface cleaning in low traffic areas on some furniture. But again, we wouldn't recommend this in a commercial setting. We then have dry compound or powder cleans. The method is there's a powder or this dry compound that's spread over carpet. It's then agitated in, and over time, the next day or so, the powder or the compound absorbs the dirt and the stains that have been broken down. And then it needs a thorough vacuum to suck all of that powder up. The pros are that it's quick drying time. In minutes, it's dry. And that it's environmentally friendly. We're not using a whole bunch of water and we're not flooding our carpets with hot water or anything like that. So it's really environmentally friendly. The cons are that, again, we have a residue build up over time. So it's impossible to get all of the powder out of the carpet fibres. And so that powder that is designed to absorb dirt and stains that are broken down in the agitation process, the powder that's left in the carpet is going to continue to absorb dirt, and over time you'll notice that your carpet will go dull. It won't look as bright as it does when it's clean. And that's just because of that the powder absorbing dirt and stains and being more prominent. It's going to require thorough vacuuming. You don't want to have the powder left over because it will add to that dust and the indoor air quality being lowered because there is a residue left behind. It's going to require hot water extraction every 3 to 4 cleans just to get flush all that dust and the powder out. And if you look on any of their instructions on the dry powder and the best use, it says every 3 to 4 cleans, do a deeper clean with hot water extraction. And it's less of a deep cleaner for that reason. It's not designed to be a deep clean because it's going to leave some of that residue behind. The use case, moisture-sensitive environments, places with high humidity that that really can't have a lot of moisture, things like really volatile carpets that you don't want to get wet, dry compound is a great way to go. And then finally, we have encapsulation. The encapsulation method uses a science-backed solution. It's sprayed over the carpets very lightly, agitated into the carpet fibres. And that solution breaks the dirt down into these nano-sized particles. All the dirt, the stains, the grime get broken down, and then polymers encapsulate the dirt particles. Those dried encapsulated polymers crystallize and are then vacuumed up in the regular vacuuming. Because it's invisible to the eye, it's not like the dry powder that needs a thorough vacuum. It can be vacuumed with just regular vacuuming. And then some of the systems will then, the encapsulation systems, there's lots of different chemicals out there, but some of them use a T2H dustless polymer that coat the carpet with some sort of like Scotch guarding, in a way, a shield that protects the carpet. And so at Premrest, we use a product that has a polymer protective film that is invisible, but it adds that extra layer of protection so that as people come back in walking on the carpet, you've got a little bit of extra time to get to the stains or spills when they happen. The pros are that it's quick drying, normally dry within 45 minutes to 60 minutes at worst. It's environmentally friendly. We're not using a huge amount of water like hot water extraction. It's about 76% less water, 70% less energy because you're not having to heat up the water. And you eradicate any wastewater. You're not having to extract water out of the carpet. So it's very similar to the dry compound in that aspect. Another pro is that most providers will leave no residue. So it's not going to have that dried powderish residue if you've got the right encapsulation chemical. It's going to prevent resoiling if they're using a chemical that has that polymer protective film that's invisible. And then some providers also have an odorless option. And we know that in live working environments where anyone will try anything to get out of work, the scent is really important. Some people say, I can smell the cleaning chemicals from last night. So some providers will give an odorless option, and it's impossible to tell that the carpets have been cleaned by smelling, just by sight. The cons are that depending on your provider, your encapsulation provider, there could be a powdery residue buildup, which leads to the carpet feeling a little bit crunchy, and you can see some of the powder expanding over when it gets touched or shaken. And the effectiveness depends on the product quality. So not every chemical out there is the same. And so making sure that you've got a provider that really knows what they're doing and can back the encapsulation process. Great use case is for regular maintenance in high traffic spaces. If you've had a deep clean and then maintaining it, you can maintain it forever with encapsulation and very rarely need to go for a deep clean with any other option. That's encapsulation. So if we look at the breakdown of the different options, there is definitely a use case for all four of these. At Premrest, we aren't linked to one method, and so we will use any of the methods that we deem necessary for the facility and for the type of carpet that it is after we've assessed it. There's different things that we look at: moisture level, drying time, sticky residue risk. The risk of failure do they need to really know what they're doing to be able to get a good result? Is it good for deep cleaning? Can you deep clean a carpet with it? Is it good for periodical maintenance? Can you maintain a carpet really, really often with that method? And then finally, should you use it for spot or surface cleaning? Is it easy to use for spot and surface cleaning? And so as you can see, there's different areas where, yes, hot water extraction should always be used as a deep cleaning method, but shampoo should not. Dry powder is very low in moisture level and quick drying, whereas the hot water extraction is not. So you see there's different methods that are important and have their place in the carpet cleaning world. And so you want to find a provider, back to that what's the right choice, a provider that won't just treat your carpet all the same, that will apply the right method for the right carpet, for the right situation. And finally, we're just going to quickly touch on where Premrest fits. We aren't a general cleaner. We're not a local provider, and we're not product driven. We're not linked to a certain product. We are specialists, that fourth category. And we like to be seen as more than just carpet cleaners. We're Australia's go-to for commercial floor care. We work with clients all around the country in remote areas right through to major cities, looking after their cleaning, their installations, and even special projects, things like flood restoration, strip and seals, slip testing, graffiti removal. Again, as I mentioned already, because we're the specialists and we're not linked to a certain product, in our cleaning, we will tailor our program based on your traffic patterns, your humidity levels, everything that each facility is unique and each floor type is unique. We're going to tailor our program and make sure that the carpet that you have in your facility is getting the right treatment that it deserves and that it needs to get the maximum lifespan out of it. Our installs team are doing projects in live sites as well as, so they're doing replacements as well as new fit outs all around the country and can work with a range of materials. They're not just linked just to carpet and neither is our cleaning actually. We clean all types of flooring. And I guess the thing that sets us apart is that we are specialised. We're a national provider, which means we can be competitive with price because we are cleaning in buildings all across the country or every night of the week. We can be really competitive in price. We're not doing the ad hoc fees that general cleaners do. We're not selling a certain product or a brand. We're just selling our service and our specialisation. It means we can be flexible as well. Flexible with the products that we use, flexible with the offering that we have, and flexible with the time that we can be in your facility because we are in different facilities every night of the week across the country. Not only are we cleaning and installing, but we help with that asset management side of things. We can consult and help you with looking at your facility's flooring and assessing what condition is it in, how long do you have left, what would it cost to replace this, and what will it look like to maintain it until its life end. And then we care about sustainability. Everything we do, we come at it with how can we do this in a way that's eco-friendly, that's friendly to our world. And will help you as a facility manager with some quick wins in being able to sell a sustainable solution to your client or to your facility. That's it for the webinar, but we have some questions that have been coming in. I'm just going to have a read. We've had Monica ask, do you recommend an option that has zero smell? Our office hates that artificial smell left after a clean. Yes, so that is why the encapsulation cleaning that we will often go for an encapsulation product if it's maintaining a carpet because it's just, as you saw in that chart, one of the best offerings. And yes, the chemical that we use for that is one that we've had the odor removed from that product. So we recommend that because you'll have less people calling in sick and wanting to go home early because they've got a headache or they can smell the cleaning product or the chemical. Someone here saying that, yeah, they agree. They've used their shampoo on their carpet and they don't like the leftover residue. What can you do to fix it? Really, you're just going to need to get it flushed out either with a hot water extraction or with something like an encapsulation that will break down the sticky residue that was left behind by the shampoo. You can scrub and flush it out with just some plain water, but it's not going to really take away that sticky residue immediately. We operate a 24/7 call centre in part of our facility. Are there any of these methods that are friendly for that environment? We can't have too much noise impacting our phones. Yeah, absolutely. Look, we work in 24/7 centres all the time. Hospitals, 24/7, call centres, the same thing, trading floors. And we get the fact that you can't disrupt. You want something that's going to be able to be produced on a live site. Hot water extraction isn't the best option for that because it's noisy and you often want to do that at a night or over a holiday period when you know that there's not going to be people walking on the damp, wet carpet. So something like the dry compound or the encapsulation would be a better option for that. Encapsulation is pretty good offering for that because the machines they use are really, really quiet. They're quieter than a vacuum, and they don't have to come back over it with a vacuum to thoroughly get the powder out, like the dry compound. We have George asking, we have a large data center. What would you recommend? Again, very similar. I think that if it needs a deeper restoration clean, we come in over a quiet time and clean with a deep clean with the hot water, and then we recommend maintaining that either with the encapsulation, low moisture. How do I know what ideal frequency is for my space? I feel like a sales rep will always recommend more cleans to increase the value of their sale. Absolutely. Look, frequency depends on a number of things. A lot of the times when we're planning a program, we will recommend higher frequencies on those high passageways. But look, no one is walking up against the edge of a wall or the edge of a window in your facility. And so doing a full clean on a bi-monthly or quarterly basis just doesn't make sense. So making sure that you've got a program, that the person selling you that carpet cleaning is selling you a program that makes sense for your facility, looking at traffic patterns, looking at occupancy data to make sure that you're not just paying for a full clean every time. A lot of our programs look like a full clean biannually, then high traffic passages every couple of months, and then coming in and doing spotting in between those to make sure that we're just staying on top of the stains. Final question from Sarah says, we have a coffee stain that our general cleaners haven't been able to get out using steam cleaning and spot cleaning methods. Recommendations. Look, general cleaners are great at generally cleaning your facility. They're great at spraying wipes. They're great at cleaning the bathrooms, taking out the trash. But oftentimes these spills, it just needs some extra attention, and they're not doing that every single day. They're not specialised in looking after the carpet. So getting someone in to come and really treat that. The encapsulation product that we use could be a great option because it breaks down over time, and so it continues to work even after we've done the clean. The dry powder would also be another option. Definitely don't use shampoo with something that's got that sticky residue because it's just going to attract the stain, or definitely don't get them to over wet it because it will just slowly wick back up as it dries, and whatever's down below will come back up. So you really want to make sure that there's something that's going to disintegrate and spread out that stain into these nano-sized particles that then gets removed via vacuum. That's all the questions we've had come through. Thank you so much for your time and for spending your time listening to our webinar. If you've got any other questions, you can reach out to us, head to our website. There is a little ebook there that you can scan this QR code. Otherwise, give me a call. My number, my email is just there, and I can connect you with the right person at PremRest who can get the job done for you. So thanks so much for your time, and enjoy the rest of your day.